you noticed the cast. Obviously, that was a test because we said it 25 times during the broadcast. We're having some lag. You guys may not see it. That'll be great if that's the case. But hey, welcome to episode 28. I am Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir. I am your host and game master for Karandrin role playing tonight. Hopefully, every night that we do this, I'll be the game master. Hopefully, Max won't fire me. Oh, speaking of Max, there's Max.
Speaking of Max, what kind of introduction is that?
Speaking of Max, that asshole.
Hello,
Here he
everybody.
is.
Happy November.
That's right.
Yeah. The pre-Thanksgiving preparations. Everyone's prepping. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna have Karandrin right before Thanksgiving, right?
That's my hope.
Wednesday night.
That is absolutely my hope. And
yeah, you can watch it right before Thanksgiving. But yeah, welcome everybody, and welcome back.
So last episode, you were mucking about town, trying to find out information on the Iron Empress and the sorceress from quite a few millennia ago, named Nothnaro, we found out that she was halfling, an exceptional healer, an exceptional enemy of evil.
Mm-hmm.
She fought against the tyranny of various mannish nations that dominated this region centuries ago. And you were presently in an adventurers guild, but then we sort of off stream, we had you leave there. You found out information about Nothnaro. What time of day is it? Remind me. Sort of is it mid-morning-ish, noonish?
Yeah, it would be mid-morning. I woke up on time, had breakfast, and then went to town. So
yeah. You found out that there was one of the local temples does provide library access to the public, as opposed to charging or having to get favors to do it. And so you have successfully made it there. We did that a little bit off stream to save some time for our viewers. And
about an hour was I got lost in the city and trying to find the temple.
Yes, it's a town that is very difficult to navigate in. It's very hilly. Where you expect a bridge or where you need there to be a bridge to get over to the next block, there isn't. There's lots of little streams that run through town on its way to a major river that actually flows through the heart of Theaxia. Actually, the top of Theaxia. It's almost the northern border of Theaxia.
I don't remember where your rivers are, Kevin.
I know it's one of my big weaknesses. I don't want to talk about it. It's not
the land without rivers. Karandrin.
The land. That's basically what Karandrin means. It's no flow, no go. That's the big problem with it. So, you're headed to the temple, hopefully to find out more information about Nothnaro, and so on. Let me remind you, Brise, that while you're generally a practitioner you generally worship all of these gods. You are part of a secret cult, and that's not going to be welcome in that temple. So you guys are all on the same page religiously, except for the aspects of your cult. And so just, keep that on the low down. It's also been a while since you've looked to the missions of your cult.
Yes.
Yes. So
I've been a little busy. If you,
well, you're here to save the day in everyone's eyes. You're here to save the day. You have to save the world for the cult, and you have to save the world from Verilag, big bad beauty that she is. I should put up a caption for us. I suppose you might also look to you might research the Unmouth to see if anybody has any information on that. If you're still interested in that.
Well, I mean, I've got the next thing I'm going to do with the Unmouth is go there, right? I've got the crystals, and I know how to get out, kind of to an extent. So I'm kind of just wait until I have some free time, I guess. I mean, maybe after Aldruff is see him again, and I have a few days, and I'll do that. But
so so the temple is primarily a temple to Astalon, the Queen of the Gods. She's god of, typically depicted as human. The sun is believed to be her shield that she carries in the sky to protect and so on. But the sun is mounted on her shield, it's believed. And these temples will have then rooms and galleries and offshoots to all the gods, more or less. But they're they'll always be in lesser stature to the principal god that it's dedicated to. And that's a very common thing that you're used to from your upbringing. And the goblins worship the same gods by and large. So you make it to the temple. It's fairly small. It's only 2 stories, columned outer facade, and inevitably it opens to a courtyard, and there'll be a central room in the back center, typically for
remember, they're not supposed to walk into temples. Scratch this whole
thing. My God,
you forgot again.
We did. We both forgot. We about had you.
Oh my God.
We really got to be better about that.
It's hard. I don't visit them that often, so it's hard.
Right.
Right away that this was even before we ever started streaming. My first encounter with Verilag. I tried to enter a temple. I was.
Jeez, we really about screwed up.
I was basically like arrested. Like they detected whatever presence was on me, and
so we're gonna sort of rewrite history slightly.
Yes.
What we're gonna say is that you're going there to watch priests come and go, and you're gonna watch for a young priest, offer to, but you're gonna pull him or her aside, and see if you can hire a researcher.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
So you wait, there's a young elven woman. You kind of feel like you'll have a connection with her. So you wave her down. Roll for me.
41.
And she attacks you.
Okay, 42.
Oh, okay. No, that was much better.
Thank goodness.
How and what language do you want to address her?
Oh, I forgot. Do I even know Elven?
You do.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, Elven, Goblin, and Thax. I'll address her in Thax.
Okay.
Common most tongue. I've got to practice my Dwarven at some point too. I have a 4 in Dwarven from just lessons and learning it and stuff. So
right.
It's competent.
Short sentences. 7 is where you speak like a commoner but with an accent.
Right.
And 4 would be short sentences with a heavy accent. And you're dressed in town garb?
Yeah, in my nicer clothes.
She stops and says, "Do you need something?"
I do, yes. I just come up front. I'm looking for, be interested in finding a researcher for some of the books you might have in your temple there.
The temple is open to everyone. No donation required.
I just tell her I'm fairly busy, so it'd be good to have someone doing it while I tend to other matters.
Can I say that is the first time you have smoothly come up with an excuse for something? That was so good. You just rolled it out with it. Usually there's all this hand wringing. Our viewers will know there's all this hand wringing.
There's a lot of hand wringing. I'm a very truthful guy. It's man. Even in like real life, it's like, hey, why can't you make this event? And I'm trying to like explain in a bunch of sentences. I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been to Madness here in town, but they've
Yeah.
got a shirt there that says, "I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come." And every time we pass it, Karen's like, "Let's get you that shirt."
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time. we
Very
pass
accurate.
it. So she's like, I don't know if I'm qualified. What do you need research in?
I just mentioned there's two figures from about 2,000 years ago, Nath Noro and the Iron Empress. I'm trying to gather information on.
Oh, well, the person you need is a man, woman.
Man, woman.
It's a dwarven woman in the that works at the temple. Her name is Albane.
Okay.
That's who you'd want to speak with. She's somewhat older than I am. I'm sure she can help you. And she rushes off.
Damn. Okay. She was not having it.
Well, she rushes off urgently, so you assume she's been assigned a task.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And she's got to go.
Well, we can try again just see if I can catch someone else leaving the temple.
Sure.
If I'm patient enough to.
So you turn your attentions to people coming in, so that you can then have someone bring her out. Or I mean, you could just sit and watch for any dwarven female.
Yeah, I was thinking if like I could just ask someone, I'd like to arrange a meeting with Albane. Maybe give them a place to send a note to.
Sure. You
Hello, Midnight Dawn.
Hey, Midnight.
Of course, Florida lost. I know we don't have the best team. Still have my pride though.
That's funny. I forget what team beat them. Jeez, who beat Florida just recently? Can't remember. Anyway, sure, it's probably from a great state.
I'm sure they have great peaches and tons of kudzu there.
That is true. That is true. All the way from Vietnam.
Oh.
So yeah, you catch another person going in. You're like, I'm terribly busy, even though I've been standing here for like an hour watching people come and go. And I just need to pass word to Albane. And what do you want? What message do you want to pass to them? Or would you have pen and paper on you? Can you write out a message?
Oh yeah, I do. Would have a notebook in my satchel here, and I'll message will say, damn it, I guess interested in researching topics on the Iron Empress and Nath Noro. I guess, yeah, just interested in hiring a researcher on these topics.
Any offer do you want to put down on paper, or you want to wait for the meeting to do that?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, I just say willing to. Yeah, I guess I'll make an offer. Yeah, be a good amount. Willing to pay, right? X amount. I guess what would be a good kind of price for someone to do offhand research. Few gold pieces, just.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to know. I certainly think you're in the. I mean, I think you think you're in the right ballpark, right?
Yeah.
They've got other duties. They're probably going to feel like they're going to have to give some away to the temple.
Yeah.
As thanks.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
You can make an offer of, 10 10 gold pieces, willing to provide quite a bit.
And
info.
so you have that note ready. You pass it to someone. You tell them you can be found where.
That's a good point. Is there a tavern just like in this plaza here?
You could have them, since you're a member at the guild. At the
Yeah, I was
adventuring
thinking
guild.
just to the guild. Otherwise, it's close by. So yeah, we'll just say the guild then.
Okay. So leave yourself a note to check with the guild periodically. You leave your name, false name, real name.
Yeah. Reese Ajal.
Oh, hey, Keeper. I didn't see you were on. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So and it goes. I mean, do you have time to wait for a response? I mean, do you want to hang out there for a bit?
Yeah, I'll hang out.
You'll say you'll be across at the, sort of place to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a pub across the way, so you can say I'll be at that pub for the next hour or so.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll be outside. It's so funny that I just can't walk in and or maybe I could, but I don't want to risk it.
Right. So you go hang out at the pub. Is there anything you want to accomplish while you're just waiting? Because I know you're impatient. Waiting is not your strong suit.
Well, I would be reading otherwise if it's quiet enough. I don't think I really want to talk to anybody. Yeah, no. If I can find a nice spot, I'll just try to read for an hour.
Throw down a couple of copper for some tea or something, and a young goblin comes up to you. Roll for me.
36.
He's clearly interested in you, romantically, physically.
Okay.
He says, a woman with brains is a true gem. And he sits down at your table.
Oh my gosh.
What are you studying?
Don't even want to talk to this guy. What's my impression of him? Does he
roll for me?
Does he seem like he'd be a good conversationalist? 36.
Most goblins are good conversationalists.
Well,
because wit is so prized in their culture.
Yeah. I do like talking to goblins too, typically. So probably more than reading.
So your feeling is that he's harmless.
Yeah.
But he is very smooth. Midnight dog.
Brown cow.
Do you know that joke? The brown chicken, brown cow?
No.
So there's several versions of the joke, but basically that's the sound of animal porn. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh,
brown cow.
Chicken, brown cow. I never even made that connection. That's great.
So it means impending sex is of course what it means.
Yeah.
He is very charming. He's intelligent. He is. It's certainly one of the first times you've been like really attracted to a goblin.
All right, let's do it. Screw Huldra.
Oh, truth is.
Hey, Lizard and Tux, man, everyone's here tonight. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Lizard and Tux, it has been a while, man. Good to see you back.
Well, yeah, then I'll definitely keep up the conversation. Keep up the banter. Talk about that. I would have my tome out, so I'm studying magical arts.
Roll for me.
32.
It is clear that is alarming to him. He's hiding it well. And so eventually he just sort of pulls away from the conversation and out he goes.
my 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 turn-ons are long walks on the beach and talking, in bed. My turn-offs are magic. Holy magic. That's hilarious. Okay, well. Oh man. I guess you can't really tell. It's just a book, right? So if you're not familiar with
the fact, well, it is an unusual book in terms of size and other things, but it's
Sure.
and the writing is not the most clear. The characters are unusual on it.
Yeah. Right.
For various
Glancing over
symbology.
someone's shoulder, yeah.
So there are some signs, but even those signs just could just mean it's a language they don't know. So I feel like my head is really high in the camera there. So at least it gets rid of him, but hey, it killed a half hour. He was very interesting.
Everyone's running away from me today. They're like, do I smell or something? I don't know.
That's right. You've almost made the temple run away walking into it, man. We got to leave a note. I'm putting a note on the top of your character sheet that says no temples, because we keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you want to leave a note.
I'll put one at the top of somewhere. I don't know. I can put it right up here under my hit points and stuff.
Yeah.
Always remember. Yeah, I'll put it next to where I put "Don't talk about Kralum."
Exactly. Speaking of, let me check.
I got to remember Laula too, my bird familiar, just floating about it, on top of the.
Yeah.
Probably outside.
All right. So, dwarven woman walks in. Let me roll her up real quick. And she looks about, and you gave your name and probably gave your description.
Yeah. Does she look like a temple?
Yeah, it looks it.
Leave her down.
And you're always easy to find because you're you are so striking looking that
yeah, big eyes are kind of drawn, to me.
it really is the case. So she approaches and oh dear. What the heck? What the heck? That's so irritating. This is so weird. What's going on? Okay, sorry. So she approaches. She gives you a brief bow, and she introduces herself as Albane, and she takes a seat. So
that's spelled Albain.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Yeah, I'll offer her to, would you like something to drink? Anything?
She waves it away, but thanks you, and again gives you a little bow. She says, I received your note. Obviously, you've chosen some very specific topics.
Yes.
How long of an arrangement do you envision this being?
Well, I guess it depends on the. I don't know. I guess it depends, I guess, on the depth of how much there is to know about these people. I've known a little bit, and I'm curious to know more. Um, I have I put the offer there and money. I do have enough to pay for, at least several weeks.
So your 10 gold, I guess we should back up. Are you talking about a day?
Well, that's what I'm not sure if they have 100 books, on.
Right.
I'm kind of more returning the question. Her, it's like, well, how much knowledge do you have on these? Because I guess I'm not sure when I say hire research. Do I mean for this temple or someone to go out and literally collect info from other places? Is that
Well,
the
I mean,
understood term?
obvious. I mean, it would depend on her duties. I mean, clearly you mean at least this temple, right? For her to research at least the books in this temple.
Yeah.
And so beyond that would depend on her duties.
Right.
So I think you ought to just start with this temple.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed. Okay.
and so,
I mean, I guess I can say, well, we can go maybe a week and see how much information we can get through. And if it seems like there's more that we can gain, more to be gained, then I'm willing to pay for longer.
she tells you that what she would recommend is perhaps 6 gold a day, and she will pour through all the historical volumes that might deal with it. Let's see her own knowledge of these 2 questions.
Spelled pour with O-O-U-R. She's just gonna pour water on the tones.
Well, it's not like the other version of that word makes any sense either.
Sure. Well, pour, like, it's like something comes through, right? So when you pour through something, it's like filtered. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is a stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love any of those. I don't love any of those arguments.
Sure.
She
That's what makes
tells-
interesting words, though.
Yes. She tells you that she knows some about Nathnaro. Nathnaro was born not far from where she was born.
Oh.
She was born in northern Nargaz, she tells you, and then entered the priesthood and has been transferred temple to temple.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is so she was a folk hero in her of her village. And though a lot of the stories, who knows the accuracy of them, she's kind of tickled that someone is interested.
Mm-hmm.
So I should give you a description of her. So she is strawberry hair down to her mid back, strawberry blonde, and light blue eyes, sort of average looking. And she, age for dwarves, of course, is hard, but sure, she's certainly a young dwarf, but that could mean 40, 50 years old. And let me see. Yeah, I mean, she's fairly well kept and so on. But where's her height? Here's her height. There we go. So she's stockier than average, and so she's just stocky, light blue hair, light blue eyes, and mid back length strawberry hair. And she watches you, very closely, and clearly she's very proper.
Yeah, bowed a couple of times. Yeah.
So, um, so she offers 6 gold a day. And what she'll do is she'll basically produce, she'll record what she learns basically
Mm-hmm.
and, on sheets of paper for you. And then if you wish to have those bound, then that's up to you. Um, so,
All right. I guess I just tell her to leave word at the Adventurers Guild is probably the best bet, right? She kind
yeah,
of has a sizable chunk.
right. Um, she is. So, how do you want to handle payment? Is something that occurs to you? Like, do you want to give her some in advance?
I could just pay her for a week in advance.
Roll for me.
4.
Okay. She seems uncomfortable with it, but she accepts. So, so that's so 42 gold.
Righto. I'll dump that on her.
Um,
42 gold out of the coffers.
that's right. She what's the date? I like to keep track of
It is the 26th.
All right.
Midnight Dawn. What? There's a lot of going on in the chat. You're paying us with sex. Reese is not doing anything. I'm paying with
First of
hard
all,
cash. I'm not that type of woman.
Brise is fictional, and so I mean, you thought you had to fake your orgasms in the past. Now is really it's really going to tax your acting skills, is what I'm thinking. So all right, well, she stands, thanks you for your time, and she tells you obviously some of this money will be given to the temple, and she extends their thanks to you. She gives you a little bow, and off she goes.
All right.
So
Let's leave a note here. Checking with Albine's research at the Adventuring Guild. 1 week's worth of pay starting 4/26. All right.
All right.
Then I think it's back to the keep. We'll
All right, roll for me.
spend some time here. 36.
You're lost, which is fantastic.
Excellent.
You find that one mountain looks very much like another. In the course of getting lost, you come across a group of Algrit's men who are they're walking livestock back to the castle, which suggests that Algrit has requested something specific to eat tonight.
Sacrifice? I mean, food.
That's right. And these guys,
He's gonna summon demons, isn't he?
these guys have obviously had too much to drink on their morning task, and already drunk at noon. You probably would have just bought lunch at that.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So just erase 3 copper.
All right.
And we'll just take care of that for you. So they recognize you by description, and you're like, wow, it really is easy to recognize me.
Yes.
Um, and um, and they call you the Angel of Trouble. Apparently, you've earned a nickname,
Oh, I gotta write that down.
and they tie up the horse, the sheep that they're bringing, and they start running at you, and they draw their weapons. There's 4 of them,
Whoa!
and
Oh my
they
gosh.
start yelling about cutting off your wings, how happy their master will be, how happy their lord will be.
You said they're drunk, right? They seem pretty
Yes.
okay.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
so they are, I mean, they really are kind of just, I mean, yeah. So you've got about a round and a half before they're going to be there. You found yourself sort of on the edge of town. They're walking back, no doubt, from a local stockyard at the edge of
Yeah.
town. And so, I'll give you full 2 rounds. Lala is always a great distraction, although you have to send her into a slew of weaponry, which is never comfortable.
Right.
But it certainly would be unexpected. But here they come. What do you want to do?
I'm thinking some spellcasting would be interesting.
I agree.
So I need to remember my spells here for like like a spell. Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, I was thinking that wall of light.
Midnight Dawn says teleport. It's like, no, I can't run from every situation. 67.
Okay. What about wall of light?
Yeah, that's one. I was curious if so in my way of the spirit. Oh, I can't cast that one. It's level 6. Damn. I gotta mark which ones I know and which ones I don't. So the spell calm, is that like for a single person? It says
is a single person.
So it's not really useful.
Like,
You're just trying to scare them away. Yeah, wall of light is probably the best option. Then just they're running towards me, pop it up in front of them, and have them.
And that's tome, or is that that one?
That one is face obstacles, which I know.
Okay, no problem. Great.
Yeah. 1 through 5. So
right.
Yeah, level 5 stuns. Wall of light stuns all those who pass through it. So I'll just cast that in front of me and let them run into it, and I can just
in front of you or in front of them?
In front of them, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So roll to cast, then roll to aim.
Okay. I do know a sleep spell, Dawn, but I think it's again 1 person, so not super useful. 89 for casting.
Boom. Roll to aim.
Good. 8 for aim.
8 for aim. So you put it sort of in their midst. So you catch the back 2, the front 2 you don't catch, but the cries of the ones behind them catch them off guard, and they stop and turn. The guys pass through it. Let's see how they fare against it. They are absolutely stunned and shocked. Let's see. So there is mayhem. They've stopped. They're pulling one another like away from the light, alarmed. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I think it's probably while they're distracted, get out of there and try to
haul ass.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt them or anything. That's gonna.
And you've got what is it? The item you have that's bonus to run?
Horse. Yeah, I'm on my horse, right?
Right.
So, horseshoes of whatever they are.
Right. So roll to gallop out of there.
Okay. 32.
Okay. Yeah, it's decent. It's level ground, not difficult. off you go. You turn down a couple of alleys just to, not be within line of sight. All right, what would you like to do? I guess navigate back to the castle after you lay low for a few minutes.
Yeah, that was interesting. I guess the town's a little more dangerous now if there's any drunken guards walking around.
Right. It also is an indication, of course, that you have a reputation.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Um,
I was going to say a side note of was it Angel of Trouble? One of my characters in my D&D campaign, they're a paladin, and they're just like, they're super like flamboyant and just like have so many titles. So I have like Artemis, Adonis, because he's like really strong. Scrange is his last name. The Fae, because he's like half elf. And then I had like for president at the end because he's like political. He's also like in like politics and trying to like change the face of like the town. So it's like my full name is, and it's like 20, like words.
That's really funny.
And Brise can do the same. Takes me like 10 minutes to introduce myself.
That's right. And you gotta wait for hail to the chief to play.
Yeah.
All
right. So then we'll after laying low, we'll just try to get back to the keep.
So roll to navigate.
Come on, 55.
Takes you a while. It's mid-afternoon. You're coming up. You finally made it to the foot of the sort of the drive that leads up to the keep, and an old man approaches you, and waves you down. He's got a bag of goods and some goods sort of scattered at his feet on a blanket. So he's sort of like a street vendor, just selling things out of a bag instead of a shop,
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I feel it's almost like a character thing. Do I trust, like, interact with street vendors?
Yeah, I mean, most of them are, the ones you're wary of are the ones that are out on the open road. Because you're like, that's a common bait for thieves hiding in the woods.
Right.
Just to stop you. But in the city, it's quite common.
I was always just thinking about, like, someone who grew up a little bit wealthy, like, probably goes to shops more often than buys stuff, from merchants. But like you said, it's probably common enough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it depends on sort of what he's like. If you saw, like, for instance, he had like potions and things like that, you go, oh, okay, well, this guy is, someone who deals with adventurers and just,
right.
It's high-end stuff, but he didn't have enough to open a shop, so he just carries it around in a bag.
But if you're selling furniture, and be like, maybe I'll pass.
He's a troll, and he has like a whole living room set that he carries around.
That's actually really funny.
He's
trolls that just deal in things like that.
Like, that's right.
You want to buy a keg of wine? Sure.
Exactly.
You got to carry it though.
I have these 3 oxen in my pocket. Wait, it's a sex joke. We're back to brown chicken, brown cow.
3 oxen. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to know that about it.
Wasn't that a band? 3 oxen? No, I'm kidding. So he's just waving to you, and as you approach a little bit, you can hear him calling, magic and wonder, enchantments beyond compare. And he's got a couple of weapons out on the ground on his little rolled up carpet. I mean, there's plenty of room to go around him, out of melee range.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm definitely curious if he's selling magical stuff. Might be more variety than what we had at Molia's.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Mullies is small. They got a great selection of scrolls. That's their big strength.
Yeah.
Well, here is a lady who needs some enchantment in her life. I knew you would be a discerning customer.
Okay, he's up.
Roll for me.
28.
And again.
29.
That's hilarious. And one more time.
I got 3. So 300. With 3.
Yeah, he's harmless.
Okay.
He says, I have all manner of items here against the unholy.
Yeah. I'll just interrupt and say I'm fairly familiar with magic items and have plenty myself. I can take a look and see what you have.
Oh, you have no fear against the unholy, I see. A brave woman in these times. He lifts an amulet. He says, this protects against the harmful effects of demons. And sets it down, reaches for a candlestick.
Mm-hmm.
He says, this resists demons infiltrating your dreams. Trying to see what else he has. He's got sort of like a warhammer. He says, your father could use this to slay any unholy creature that might disturb your home. Perhaps he works in the keep. You can sell it to the guards for a tremendous price. I am not welcome there.
I don't know. There's something about this guy who's a bit fishy, like the way he's. I don't know. I know I already rolled, I guess, for my perception of him, but just his like manner and.
He certainly has a concentration of items.
Yeah.
But if that's all he's got, that's all he's got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not all he's got, but those are some abundant items he has. And see, you have to remember, you don't look like an adventurer. You're dressed in your town clothes, and so that's why he offered it to your father and not you.
Right. I don't know. Just the fact that it's like demons protecting, against your dreams and amulet protecting against demons. It seems very relevant to like what I need. But I guess it could be coincidence. Well, Brise is untrustworthy also, so I'm like, okay.
You should. No doubt. The street vendor, they can be charlatans, but of course, you can also be just taken advantage of in a shop.
Well, I mean, I will. I guess I'll pry him then when he offers the candle, the amulet, and the other thing. I just asked, and why would you not be welcome at the keep?
I had a drunken fight after an unfortunate game of cards with the guards, and we started a fire, and of course, no owner of any keep wants a fire. So I just generally make a circuit between here and Handrock, stopping at villages, but at last the keep is closed to me. So
does he seem like he's telling the truth?
Roll for me.
97.
Roll again.
79. What are those rolls?
He is not only lying, he is not real. And this moment of insight, you see through him, literally through him. And there is, let me look it up. This is what I get for.
What is going on here?
I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure you'll be fine. Oh,
is all of Karandrin just a simulation?
Oh, my lord. Finally.
Seeing the truth. I rolled high enough.
I'm wondering. Wait, there's the button.
Yeah, damn, missed my opportunity. I should have said, of course, Kevin, none of this is real. It's role playing.
That's role playing, and I don't know why.
I see through all of your characters.
That's right. They're all super weak. An elf with dark hair stands in robes. He is one of the most beautiful individuals you have ever met or seen. He is standing within an illusion of a boulder, and he is concentrating on the old man, clearly creating him as an illusion. And he's short for an elf, but he is even more beautiful than you and Aldrich.
Oh my gosh. May I just ask the number you rolled?
Before the bonus of 15, it's a double aught.
Oh my.
So whereas like you're a 103, Aldrich is Aldrich is either a 107 or a 109. This guy is a 115.
He's perfect. He's literally rolled 100. It's so crazy.
He has an untidy man, what? I'm just having a hard time finding my stuff. So his hair falls in this ponytail all the way down to his butt, and it's sort of very disheveled, and it's got several ponytail holders. You know, it's bound at several places along its length. He wears robes. He holds a staff of interesting appearance. It's intermittent. It's two sections of wood, white and black, and they're entwined around each other. This is, I think this is just your deal, is that you just have a sense of the truth sometimes.
I do. It was 97 plus 79. Yeah. Wow.
And
does he? So I guess does he notice me noticing him first?
He has not yet.
Okay.
Roll for me.
56.
You know that you're supposed to know who this is, that you have heard of this individual.
Yes.
And
well, I mean, I can scroll up and find the name if you want.
No, I have the name. I'm just telling you that your character cannot remember. So, what would you like to do?
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? My character doesn't remember.
Yes, it's just on the tip of your tongue. It's on the tip of your brain.
Oh, okay.
Because it's specifically the ponytail. And it's not something you've taken a note of, that Max has taken a note of. It's one of these pieces of knowledge that you've overheard, that the character has overheard, that we just passed by.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember? Okay. I guess I'll try a sleep spell.
I don't think your character would go that route. I don't think you have any person who can do this. Your character knows you're not going to face off against them in Magic.
Well, I was gonna say, as a player, I'm like, I think that's a bad idea. But does Brise really know about like that? I guess I do.
The individual is, I mean, you look at them and you say, that's not a person to be trifled with. That's not a
Okay.
person that I can compete with.
Understood. Yeah. Then I guess it's best to
Roll for me again. Let's get your gut roll on.
yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't want to anger him. 89. We might take more drastic measures like the goblins. I might just try to be on my way.
You, it dawns on you, you're being probed for information. That's why all the demon talk.
Okay.
And then it dawns on you who this must be. This must be Tanzot, Lord Algrit's chief magical advisor. And then the ponytail description that you'd heard from some guard in passing about how ridiculous his ponytail was comes to you. And essentially, he was offering you magic items to protect against demons, to judge your interest in demons.
Right.
And you were disinterested in them all. So he hasn't noticed yet. So you might say, you can try to, you can either do this indirectly and say, hey, I don't have any dealings with demons if I can help it, and leave. Or you can say, hey, you behind the rock, I know what you're trying to do. I have no dealing with demons.
Yeah, I think Brise would go with the second option. I think she would try to call him out.
All right. Well, how do you want to call him out?
Because I want to do that too, because remember I resisted that sleep spell from the other spellcaster.
Yes.
I might like make myself known as like, it's impossible to fool me.
Impossible to subdue you with magic, maybe.
Exactly. So I mean, I'll just say I have no interest in these items because I don't have any dealings with demons. Either you or your friend there, who's
within the rock.
Yes, within the rock, or that rock of yours over there. Kind of added on at the end.
The gentleman within the rock starts and jumps and looks at you, and your eyes meet, and he is truly baffled. He taps his staff on the ground. Both illusions fade. He regards you for a moment, and says, you're quite observant.
Well, yeah, I am. Thank you.
There's the smooth Brise we've come to love. I knew she'd rear her stumbling head again.
I mean, I'll just reiterate what I said to him. I think that that you can tell your lord that there's no need to spy on me or Adabir's doings. It'll have no benefit to him.
My lord and I will make up our own mind. What would it take for you to tell me the truth?
I just say that let me scroll. I need to remind myself what is our kind of like our guise that we're doing, just to make sure, because I might want to tell him that, maybe fool him. We said that cure seeking and crop improving, the magic to do that. Okay.
I was typing in the stats for the, you know, for this NPC, and I typed in
Yeah.
their beauty as 1151. So they just got even more attractive.
You just got before my eyes. Like,
That's right.
oh my gosh. Tell me the truth. And I would just tell him there's nothing that you'd gain from that.
Well, but you could gain. Could you not? I know that you
Yo,
are.
you can't handle the truth. That's a good one.
You can't handle the truth. Oh my God.
Well, I
You.
mean, I say I have honor to my master. I guess that's the right term.
Well, you're.
Master Adabir.
Yeah. Loyalty, I guess.
Yeah.
Adabir is old, near the end of his life. I have centuries to go yet. He will make a mistake. Your purposes will be revealed to me. So why not take a small payment for the truth? Bring peace between these two rivals. Ease the tensions in this area.
I think the lords should mind their own business. That would do the best to ease tensions. Wait, hoping Mirgral is there any spice around? I just hope the Lord should not meddle in each other's affairs. That would do the best to bring peace, I think.
He reaches into a pouch at his side, and he pulls out a stack of at least 10 mithril. He says, think at the power that this could acquire you. He
I'm
takes out
thinking of that flail.
he takes out another stack of 10 mithril.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps these things are of no interest to you. Perhaps
Actually,
it's magic that you are interested in.
you know, it's funny. Breach is absolutely not interested in like treasure, and riches. I mean, it's useful, but I don't have that greed, right?
Right, yeah.
Just shrug it off.
This is a problem. But
I mean, is he going to keep staying here? I guess I should just, good day and take my leave and try to keep an eye on him with Laula.
well, and that's the thing, right? Is a guy like this turning your back on him.
Right. He's already. And there's like, how far away is like the town? Like more people.
Oh, I mean, you're sort of at the edge of the town before it just kind of gets too steep to really. Yeah. So there are shops or at least homes within sight. There's probably livestock behind people's homes milling around on the slopes.
Yeah.
As
I would say, if I'm, in town, there's a little less incentive for him to do something drastic, right?
Yes, but it's not like he doesn't know that too, right? I mean,
yeah, he is pretty advanced.
So he's gonna have to weigh the social turmoil he might cause versus gaining the truth, you know. Um,
God, do I then maybe indeed try to like work out? I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a slippery slope. You know, as soon as I give him, if I give him an inch, then he might have methods to get the rest. Um,
yeah, it's
I'd rather just try to rebuff him as long as I can. I mean, I even know if I can how powerful a wizard he is.
right. You figure he, Adabir, it was not undue for Adabir to take a position with Lady Meagral.
Mm-hmm.
And we know some of the things that um, Adabir can do. I really like that name, Adabir. Anyway, I enjoy saying it. But the so roll for me.
Okay. 65.
So what if instead of having your list passed, what if you play like a bit of a double agent, it occurs to you, and say, well, I'll tell you what, here's a list of things I'm supposed to get. You can memorize them or write them down and give it back to me. And in exchange, I want X.
Interesting.
So that's a thought that occurs to you. But
I do like that idea actually because it gives him something he thinks he needs.
right.
And at least he'll be left to his own devices to figure out contents of the list. So yeah, what would I want in exchange then? I guess just all those mithril.
I mean, if you know a magic item, like you've come across a magic item that you've wanted.
Yeah. Is there anything in town I would need like access to? Well,
I need you to take the temple library and put it outside the temple.
remove all the books and send them out. Yeah, I'm looking like through magic items and stuff, but
I mean, even if you just named 2 tomes you've come across, right?
yeah,
And you get them.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, what I really want now is that mithril because that flail like would be so cool to have. Like, I don't know if that's too
Well, and then you could say,
to say
I
that
mean,
one stack of mithril for this note.
you could say, you could say I have an interest in powerful weapons, specifically spears and flails.
Yeah, okay, that seems more. Words are escaping me. That seems better. I'll do that. More
Thumbs up.
apropos, like more appropriate. Yeah. So I'll procure the list and say, well, fine. This is this list of items I've been tasked with getting. You can copy it down or whatever.
In exchange for
exchange, what do you know about? I guess what do you have to offer in terms of? I'm interested in weapons, powerful weapons, enchanted weapons.
and specifically spears and flails,
Yeah,
right?
spears and flails, especially.
Well, okay. He he murmurs. A portal opens. at his shoulder height.
Whoa.
He reaches in. He pulls out a flail. Let me hop and look at the possibilities here.
Just pull the one from the keep.
You are exactly correct. And
No
I don't
way.
mean he's pulling one not from the nearby keep.
Okay.
He's pulling one from his private rooms.
Wow. Wow.
Boop, boop, boop.
Which he pulls out of his ass, out of his portal.
Let's see what we've got as possibility. How many? 18?
I guess this makes sense because the list would eventually made its way up to this guy anyway. So it kind of just cutting out the middleman almost. It's pretty smart.
Let's see what this one is. He pulls out a flail and he throws it at to your feet. You pick it up. And it is a Flail of Fairness.
Very appropriate.
It is plus 25 magic. And it grants you plus an additional plus 10 for each opponent beyond the first that is attacking or intends to attack you each round.
Wow.
So the maximum boost it can gain is to a plus 55.
Awesome.
Also, if you're facing 3 or more enemies, you can parry more than one attack each turn. You can parry an additional attack.
What? I will try to hide my surprise.
Your happiness?
Yeah.
Roll for me.
I just squeal. Did you say roll?
Yeah, roll for me.
31.
Yeah, you don't feel like you did a great job doing that. But he remains just sort of implacable and unreadable, and stands there. And what would you
fold the note into a paper airplane? Throw it his way. I mean, I guess I have to
approach?
Courtesy by approach. So I don't have any like spell that would Mage Hand is like the spell in D&D. It's just you kind of move something like a piece of paper or something.
No. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, so I'll just have to go up to him on my horse and offer him the note.
Well, you're probably off your horse because you had.
Well, yeah, I guess I would have gotten off. Yeah.
So yeah. So he so you're gonna accept that. So let me put a check mark by your name there, so you now have that in your inventory. So he reads over the note. It's his turn to fail his controlled expression. He nods thoughtfully. There's certainly a sense of, this doesn't seem, as bad as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
He passes the note to you. Passes the list back to you. And he gathers. Just walks past you without a word. It was really daunting to be near him because he is literally just that beautiful.
Yeah.
Surprisingly short for an elf, you realize um, as he comes down off the slope and stands even with you. He's not much. He's only an inch or so taller than you, whereas he should be 3 or 4 inches. But he strolls to the goods and he gathers them up in a roll. He sort of rolls up the carpet and all of its items and picks it up, murmurs, another portal appears, and he pushes it in through the portal, and the portal seals. And
PowerPoint does this guy have? He's just opening portals left and right.
well, now he's exhausted. You've worn him out.
Yeah, true.
And so he says, he turns to you and says, tell no one of our conversation. And he says, there'll be further rewards if you wish to be forthcoming. So, my name is Tanzot. You need only pass a note to one of the guards.
Does he mean like one of Algrit's guards? Or I'm assuming.
Well, you can just write it's probably, that's true.
I know when he said pass it to the guards, I'm like, whose guards?
Right. He can't really communicate that way, can he? Because he can't trust Miagral's men, and
Right.
Algrit's men aren't going to be allowed near you guys. So, how are you going to communicate? He tells you to light a candle and put it in your leftmost window of your quarters. Roll for me.
58.
Wow, you think. Not only does Miagral know which one's my quarters, but Algrit's people already know which are my quarters too.
Yeah. Okay. Feeling very good about this.
Well, you should. You just got a crazy powerful magic item. That'll also be worth some experience points, so mark that down.
Yeah.
So
my quarters to summon him, I guess, if I wish.
He murmurs and he vanishes. Well, this has been an interesting day.
Yes.
Shall we take a break, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
And we can all process what just happened.
What the fuck just happened?
Exactly. All right, gang. Well, we are going to run. We're going to run, refresh our drinks and so on. So please feel free to do the same. As always, you can take a look at Max's notes and our website and his character sheet. Hop over there and donate, and also visit the webpage there for Brise's artist. We're very appreciative for Elliot Dunovitz working on that. So we'll be right back. Just hang with us, gang, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Well, hello, gang. Thanks for hanging with us. Um, your reward for all your patience, of course, is not
More
just
Karandrin.
not just more Karandrin, but also some scat. Boo 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 boo.
Oh, our numbers are dropping, Kevin.
How is that possible? How is that possible, sir? Well, thanks for hanging with us, gang. We just left quite an interesting encounter with
much so.
the court mage of um, the visiting Lord Algret, who suspects that Adabir is here to um, aid his opposing noble in some harmful way, and so we just had Tanzot interrogate and bribe Brise on her way back to the keep. So, all righty. So, you return to the keep riding and just very wary and very tired of people trying to use magic to deceive you. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I'm a little concerned about if Aldrich, when he shows up. I mean, everyone's going to know, how much they care about him if they know he's not, magical or he's not.
He is
by reputation, and then he's an easy target.
right.
Like pretty.
And him coming here at least at this moment, because he could arrive tonight.
Right.
Yeah, he's really walking into quite a lion's den, and so, yeah, I don't. So the question is, what can be done about that?
Yeah, I think the best thing is for when he does get here, just to have him stay in the keep as much as possible.
I mean, he's not going to have a choice about that if he's given duties,
right?
And being low man on the totem pole is, fetch and carry and take this message down.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Arpen.
Arpen.
Colon
sanitizer colon. All right.
That's my favorite.
I love that. The emojis don't show up.
So yeah. So the other possibility would be to send riders out, hoping to catch him on the road.
Interesting. And to have him
turn back, delay until Algret leaves.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, until Aldrich thinks doesn't need to meddle in our affairs anymore.
Right.
That's a good plan.
I mean, at least until like the heat is off. I mean, there were already spies in the area. I mean, you have to you're getting sort of this glimpse of behind the scenes of how nobles work against one another, right?
Right.
It's sort of beyond court intrigue, I guess. I guess it's realm intrigue since we're well outside the court. Mm-hmm. The danger is particularly high when Algret is here and when there is a very pressing issue in play. And of course, none of this was really in the thinking about, you and Aldrich being together in this keep. And now it's now he's become a liability, but he's also in danger. And you're in greater danger just being at the keep than you thought. But you make it back to the keep, obviously your little familiar songbird, Lala, that we all love, lands on your shoulder and stays obediently on your shoulder so it doesn't get shot. You swing through the gates with a nod to the goblins. Where to now?
So I guess let me think. Do I want to tell? I guess I really should tell about Tanzot, right? I know he didn't. I don't know if that'll have any repercussions or not. It shouldn't, I guess.
It would be weird not to tell about Tanzot.
Yeah, and then if it gets found out later, yeah.
Yes, because then you will absolutely look a dirty, filthy spy.
Okay, so I think the first thing is to go into to seek out Adabir, and it's very very important news.
Right. Right. I was looking on the wrong side of me for my dice. It's embarrassing. So head back. You just feel like everybody in the keep is just watching you.
I hate that feeling.
Yeah, it's just awful.
God, and Brise is like already not like trustworthy, so it's like,
well, trusting. You are trustworthy.
well, yes, I was mixed those up. Yeah.
So yeah, so you make it back.
I hope I can sleep tonight. Jeez.
I know you're going to be just on edge. Doshrik is just walking out of the quarters that have been assigned to you guys, and he gives you a nod, and off he goes. I need to add to your little checklist of moving parts. I need to add your researcher now, so that I can roll her successes.
Yeah, probably like once a day.
And okay. So did you had wanted to speak to Doshrik about, did you want to speak to Doshrik about something? I was recalling you hadn't talked to him about either the Iron Empress or the.
No, yeah.
But from what there's a part of you that says, he is otherworldly. He may know nothing.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, of course.
Wait, I'm confused. His name's Doshrik, right?
Yeah.
I have another character from a long time ago named Doshik. That's really funny. He's just an elf I came across.
That's funny. Man, it's my name generating, my brain generating names in the same patterns.
Kind of go to a couple same word patterns. It happens to me a lot too. And you come up with enough of them, and then they sort of a bit. Okay, right, Doshrik. So yeah, So I might seek him out at some point to ask about.
But you're just letting him go now. I mean, he's just okay, no problem. Oh, interesting. He stops as he watches you ride by, and he raises his hand to you.
Okay.
And he walks over, and he's like, "Are you all right? You seem troubled."
Yeah, a little shaky. Some things happened in town. I was going to talk to Adabir about it specifically.
Well, Burlo should be able to fetch him. I just left him.
Okay.
He sort of gives you another once over, and off he goes. Yeah. So you hand your horse off to the staff, and then dismount and and go off.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in. You can hear Tegrov laughing in the lounge where you guys often dine.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I'll try to seek out Burla. I guess I'll just peek in, each of the rooms, see if I can.
Sure.
Ask one of the maids, where he might be.
Sure. No, you find him. He's He's just sort of rushing about the house, tending to stuff. There's apparently a late lunch that was held in the dining room, and some of them have retired to the parlor. He's just giving instructions in the dining room off to the right. You walk in, and just every time you walk in, of course, the goblins, check to see who it is, like normal people do, but it drives you crazy now because
Stop
you,
looking at me.
hey, Quid, glad that you're back. And so yeah, I mean, you just feel so watched because of everything going on and everything that just happened a minute ago. So you just want to kind of give Burlow the nod to the hall, kind of a thing, like, hey.
Yeah.
Burlow takes a moment, signals you for a moment, and gives a few more instructions, and then walks over to you out to the hall. You basically ask for Adabir, right? That's all you really need.
Need to speak with Adabir.
He reads the urgency on your face. He says, perhaps you should come upstairs to the study then. And so you just follow him. Taps on the door. There is definitively
Shrag dashed on the rocks.
Oh, that's so funny. That's a reference from the animated Tick, which is that's so great. Susan, now you're just being hurtful. So there is a flash of light from around the seal of the door. And you hear Adabir's voice, grants you entry. He walks in, and Burlow leads you in and just kind of glances at you both significantly, and then leaves and shuts the door.
Yeah.
Adabir looks at the door. There's another flash of light around the seal of the door, and he reads the look on your face and sets the heavy text down that he was reading and leans forward on his knees, and he says, "What has happened?"
Well, I seem to be a lot of things keep happening to me, it seems. So I first started with the guards. Like I should just mention that in the town, that guards were basically just coming after me. So definitely a bit dangerous to go there now.
You seem to have gained quite a reputation. Maybe more attention is being paid to you than we realize.
Yes.
But that's not the biggest thing on your mind.
It leads into the next thing, which is that I was confronted by Tanzot himself as I was on my way back to the keep.
Well, it's not really fair to say you were confronted by him, right? You spoiled his ruse.
Well, yeah, I was getting to that.
Are you smarter than me? Anyway, sorry, there's a home movies joke.
So yeah,
so just is there anything you want to hold back?
No, I don't think I would even tell him I got the flail just in case he's concerned about that for whatever reason. So I'll just tell him everything.
He's aware of that magic item, and he tells you that's a 20 mithril bribe.
All right.
Well, you've done well. I can't see that I would have done any better at your age. Well, still, we're maintaining a consistent story. And now we'll have to double up on the ruse, I think. I think it's time I have a meeting with Lady Miagral. If they are bringing this amount of trouble against our youngest members, then we may need Miagral's resources to hold the line. Do you want to talk about Aldrif?
Yeah, I would say, speaking of going after weak links, I don't know if wise for Aldrif to reside here while all this is going on. Have you had word if he's going to be in today?
Not word, no, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I feel like a fool for not having considered the danger he may be in.
Mm-hmm.
We will do everything we can for Aldrif.
Right. I mean, I would say, is it too late to maybe, like you suggested, to turn him back, to have him wait maybe in the next town over until things cool down here?
I will address all of that with Miagral immediately.
Okay.
Why don't you send Burlow in, and I will arrange a meeting immediately with her ladyship.
Okay.
And then we will look to sending riders out, hoping to stop him.
Kevin, I'm like nervous. This is so weird. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I'm like reading a really good book. I'm like,
this is fantastic. This is what I want. My greatest role-playing achievement, and you're now ranking number 2, is I had a group of people listening to me play with my old friend Dana, and all she was doing was holding the hand of an NPC while that NPC was fighting a poison working through her system. And I had 3 other people in the room, and they were literally scooted forward on the edge of their seats. And we, sort of kept rolling to see if she was going to pull out of the poison with all the help they were giving her and everything. And when the NPC finally died, Dana, the player, broke down in tears.
Oh my gosh.
And that was probably my biggest success emotionally, but this one ranks very highly as well. It's good. This is, you want that tension in the story and the play. But as you turn to the door, he stops you and says, it does raise the question about yourself, whether you are safer out in the wilds exploring on your own, where they might come across you, or do you sit it out and stay here in the keep?
Well, I mean, I say I've shaken off a few of their efforts so far, but they do seem persistent.
Oh, that's true, Quinn. That was an amazing.
Why aren't you rolling?
Why? I've told you that story, right?
Maybe it doesn't ring. It doesn't
so
sound
playing with my brother Andrew, his character's been tasked to explore this tower on the coast south of Alamar that is sunken into a sinkhole. And
I think I remember this. Yeah.
And so he climbs down the tower wall, and he sees that someone has just in the sinkhole, water is collected because it's so near the coast. The water is just seeped in, and so he sees that someone has constructed a dock and has a rowboat down there. So someone was still using the tower for something. So he hooks the tower is sort of leaning, and so he hooks a grapple onto a windowsill, and he drops it down to the rope, and he lowers himself down in the boat, and he's going to use the boat to try to explore this waterway that's under the ground. And so he misses the boat. He slips off his rope and he falls in the water. And he's swimming toward the boat. No problem. It's a little difficult with his armor and his gear, but it's just a few feet to go. I said, "Well, you feel something bump your foot?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, well, all right, let's let's swim a little faster. Let's not linger." So he he climbs into the boat, he unties and he pushes off, and he feels something bump the boat, and he's
Right.
like, "Oh, okay." I'm going to keep going though. He's curious about exploring, so he keeps going. I said, "Well, it kind of bumps the boat harder." And he's like, "All right, that's it. It's time to go. I'll just start exploring the tower." So he rows back over to right underneath his rope and he ties up the boat. And as he's climbing up the rope, a rope attached to the tower. I say, "You feel something bump the tower."
Right.
And his face goes, "Climb up the rope, roll, roll. Why aren't you rolling? Roll, roll."
That's where it was from.
But his face, man, I mean, it was so great. It
Aren't
was
you rolling?
roll, roll. Why aren't you rolling? Oh, that's a great memory. That is just a great memory.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I have a
so
fear of climbing towers now.
exactly. As it turns out, water-soaked towers just move in Karandrin. They're like chia. Once you give them enough water, they just come to life.
do on their own.
He said, we're going to have to revisit everything in play.
Yes.
Algret was a young pup. I think he was born in the time I was serving Meagral years ago.
Mhm.
Relations were better then. But by the same token, if we were to keep you inside after your meeting with Tanzot, it would seem as though you've informed them of the meeting with you've informed us of the meeting with Tanzot.
Mhm. Right. Right.
We are perhaps stuck with no good answer.
Right.
And he sort of sits heavily down and sort of ponders thought, and you sort of watch him sort of with a great deal of sympathy, this old
Yeah.
man with all these things on him now.
He's so interested in his studies, but he has to deal with these politics.
Right.
Everyone's safe.
So he sits down and is lost in thought. You quietly leave.
Send Berlin.
Yeah, Burlo was sitting right there, knowing that he would probably be needed after a meeting so urgent. You sort of nod him that way. He goes in immediately. Burlo goes in and you sort of go downstairs and just now every goblin you come across, the servants, anybody, a guard coming in just to grab a cup of tea, you're just like, oh, they're all spies. They're spying for somebody. What is next on your agenda?
I might just want to go to my room and be alone for a while. I don't know if I want to do anything now. You know what I mean?
What is your thought on whether you should continue adventuring or whether you should sit things out?
I want to try to sit things out, but I feel like my impatience will kind of take unless I find something like to really occupy my time here.
Right.
I feel like that's gonna get in the way. Yeah. Yeah, I think I should try to stay in the keep then. And I was kind of planning to anyway today. So we'll just
long term.
Well, right. I don't know. It's hard to imagine what long term is. I guess how many days has it been?
I think he's only been here I mean, I don't think it's yet been 24. I think it'll be 24 this evening.
Yeah, I'm going back. Yeah, it hasn't been long, so yeah, I feel like Brise is not content with not adventuring, right? But maybe it's too risky to venture into the mountains like on horseback. Maybe it's teleport is the way to go.
Right.
For sure, I should just be more precautious about it. I think that's what I would do. I would want to keep adventuring, but definitely at the back of my mind know that I should be covering my tracks. I should be
Right. Yeah, it may just have to be appearing and disappearing so that you can't be tracked by normal means.
Or even, I mean, could I disguise myself like while I'm adventuring? I don't know if that even.
Well, it's more important to disguise yourself as you're coming and going from town.
True.
So that you can shake off any pursuers there. And see, you could just, you could buy an entire other horse, put some average gear on it, and just pay a farmer to keep it at a farm for you.
Yeah, that could work.
I mean, there's all kind of sort of tricks you can use. I mean, players think, well, I should just have one horse. Well, no, who cares, right? I mean, you can, if you buy a horse and take it to a farmer and say, look, I need just to house this horse, and here's money for food and so on,
Mm-hmm.
then there you go. Man, I'm getting tired too and pass it out here. So that might give you a way to teleport and still have a horse.
Yeah. Maintaining.
And then it does. Oh, you do have the. Wait, you've got a potion that could greatly assist.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm like, I have a potion that could change my face.
Right.
Separate identity. Let me see if that. Write this down and see that potion again to see what it said.
Yeah, potion of face changing, right?
Yeah.
And so it can disguise your face, which is a problem of yours.
Oh, I didn't write it down. Yeah, I mean it's several hours. That it's like a while.
It'd be several minutes, is my
minutes. Okay.
Several
minutes.
But the thing is, like, I mean, the assumption would be that your movements we track within the keep, and whoever's assigned to follow you, no doubt, would be either in the keep. I mean, it's possible, I guess, there could be some secret set of signals that could be passed down the slope toward, not probably in town, but along the road.
Yeah.
Where they're saying, hey, watch out, your target is coming. Keep tabs on them.
Yeah. It's hard to know what I would do. Well, I definitely won't be leaving it to keep today, but I did write down. Yeah, we need to. How am I going to? If I'm going to come and go, what that might look like.
Right.
What do I need to watch out for? So.
And another question you need to answer is: are you still going to venture into town and leave the note for the spy, which would be confirmation of your story to Tanzot? Two sources having provided the same information.
That's true. I guess that would help. I was thinking we wouldn't because it would just make its way to Tanzot anyway. But you're right. That does like bolster the case. Yeah, I guess it's a good idea to do that. Still have that in mind to deliver that note. We can maybe do that tonight if I'm able to sneak out, like we said, devise a method for that.
Oh, that's true, right? I mean, well, because who's following you now, at least within town.
Yeah.
That spy is following you within town.
Yeah.
Probably observed your interaction with Tanzot. in all likelihood.
Possibly, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, kind of midway through the day. How do I feel about just,
Yeah, I think you need a stress break.
yeah, I was going to say doing some of my other thing. I mean, spear throwing.
I was thinking you probably would skip contact with people
Yeah.
probably until the evening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just get
That's
away
what I'm
from
thinking too.
me, leave me be. Try to get some, just relax without eyes on you, and and um,
I
and
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
So just
and
head to
then
my room and
yeah.
do
So
some reading.
um, so what are we going to try to read?
My tome, Way
Okay,
of the Spirit,
roll for me.
61.
That is an hour of reading with your spectacles of attainment, I assume.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you may just relax and
Yeah.
and get some wine sent up and so on. We'll assume you just have a meal brought to your room, and then we'll have you write out and leave a note, right?
Ride out to the town to.
Yeah, to the
Well, yeah. I
herb.
mean, did I want to, like I said, come up with like skies first, or no? Just
I don't think it matters because the person who's tracking you, you're in cahoots with.
right. But I mean, like coming and going. Yeah. Okay. Coming and going from the keep more to do adventuring. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's if you were to, because the spy, I don't know if the spy would be assigned to you. It's hard to say if the spy would be assigned to you out in the wilderness,
Right.
because
True.
certainly probably not just the spy. It would probably be a couple of guys, a couple of men or women to track you,
Yeah.
and then and be two guys in case they want to seize you. Be two operatives in case they want to seize you.
Yeah.
Um, when you go adventuring, that's when if you want to shake any followers, and that's the time to do it. And
Yeah.
that way, when you're out on your own, completely alone, you're not being followed. You're not vulnerable while you're
Great.
exploring. And for that matter, you could be injured coming back to camp and find people waiting at your camp, and they've seized your gear and you're injured walking into a mess. Um,
Yeah.
and so, um, it might be that you go and invest more in the face change potion,
Maybe.
because you kind of don't care, I guess, if they track you coming back, right? Who cares?
Hmm.
Because once you lose them leaving, they want to have tracked you returning.
Yeah.
So they'll pick up your trail, presumably, as they're scouting the town. They may come across you, but by that time you'll be in town.
Yeah.
So that is to say that you need one face potion per outing to
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
adventure. You won't need two, I guess, coming and going. So, you may just, I don't know if you want to pick up more in the, for, even just one more, just so you've got two bouts of it and you're not risking them being out at the potion stores, the potion stocks. In the meantime, just around town, it won't matter unless they're very, if you go down an alley, you may be to the point where you're like, I'm just drawing my dagger. Like
Yeah.
I'm done pretending like I'm not in danger anymore. Um, and you may start prepping spells every time you go down an alley because the stakes have definitely gone up. Now, maybe Tanzot believes you. You're in a great position, right? He'll call off the things, hoping you'll just find more information. So
Okay. Yeah, all good points. So we'll go deliver the note then.
Okay.
Into town at night.
Roll for navigation.
51.
All right. You make it there. It's very very empty little area.
Mm-hmm.
You drop the note.
With like the instructions to, copy it or whatever. Yeah.
As you pass an alley, a familiar voice, that of your spy, says, "Good job with Tanzot."
Mm.
And you just keep walking, right? You're like, I'm not even gonna look. I just want to be done.
Yeah.
Roll to navigate back to the keep.
74.
No problem. You're back. You're grumpy. Everyone's watching you. Leave me alone. Um,
All right.
you get back. There is a note under your door. That says, messages have been sent out to that new tailor you requested.
Okay.
Do you want to roll through the night stuff and then we'll call it a night, or do you want to stop here?
Let's stop in case I have any dreams next session.
Okay.
I feel like it might happen. There's a high chance of
that's right.
some
problem
going on in my dreams, but yeah, I think this is a good place to stop then.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Where'd it go?
Wait, where did I go? I've got to hide the stupid caption. Look at that big brute that it is. And there you go.
TV.
So thank you all for hanging out with us as always. We really appreciate it. You can take a look at the notes, the website, all that. You'll find that and hop over to donating to us. Thanks again to Elliot Dunovitz for a terrific character art. And as always, check out Max on YouTube, where he does discussions of the role of music in video games and original soundtracks therein. And he's always steadily working on something in his conniving little way. We will absolutely see you next time. I don't know of any reason our next Wednesday should be interfered with, but we'll certainly make announcements online if that's the case. But thank you guys so much for your support. We always enjoy hanging out and the comments in the chat and everything. Brise, say goodnight to these lovely people.
Oh, like that yawn came at a perfect time.
That was fantastic. That's what it takes from you guys.
I think we're both a bit tired, but didn't bore you the last couple minutes. But interesting session.
Yeah, some developments definitely.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
That's right. We'll see you guys next time. Again, thanks for everything, and have a good night.